Hi everyone, so yeah, the title of this video is sort of why are we picking and choosing sort of one form of discrimination, why is one discrimination okay but others are frowned upon? Like I said, I've mentioned this quite a few times now. I'll keep on wanting to say what's on my mind there. But like I said, why are we picking and choosing which forms of discrimination are okay? That seems to be sort of the moral consensus. Like, sexism is wrong, racism is wrong, against LGBTQ is wrong, anti-Semitism is wrong. But when it comes to speciesism, no one really talks about it. If you Google forms of discrimination, speciesism doesn't even come up because they're only talking about human beings. And there in itself, it's kind of like, people don't really like to talk about speciesism. The difference between, why are we branding, cows and pigs and everything, kind of treating them as if, as if they're commodities, but whereas cats and dogs get loved, and I was PCA all about the cats and dogs and everything, rescuing cats and dogs from shelters and everything, talking about dogs trust and everything. But how can we have that? But then these people kind of the animals, I was PCA actually approve, what happens to a lot of animals in slaughterhouses. They approve, the way they kill themselves. So I was PA assured, red tractor and everything. So what I'm trying to say is, why are some forms of discrimination okay? The ones that, a lot of these minority groups are kind of campaigning for and supporting, Rainbow Hearts on social media, or, Black Lives Matter or whatever, I hate saying things specifically, but there's minority groups. But then when it comes to something like speciesism and veganism, not everyone kind of abides by that, as if it's harder, as if, animals don't matter, as if animals are somehow different to humans, when really we're all the same. I'll say again, we all have our hearts, lungs, brains, eyes, we sleep, we recreate, we procreate, have the same gestation period, we're the same biologically, we're so similar. How can you say, mammals are mammals, birds are birds, animals are animals, we're all conscious beings living life subjectively through our own lens, through our own eyes. So what's the difference? Well, what is the difference? There isn't one. In the way we want to live, there is no difference, because animals are animals, organisms are animals are animals. There's no difference in the way we want to live. So, and biologically, how biologically similar we are, it always astounds me how we're commodifying animals. Surely haven't we learned from what happened to the Jews and the Nazis and everything, and what happened in World War II, how the Jews were seen as so inferior. Haven't we learned from that? Can't we see this is what the same thing we're doing to certain species of animals? Or racism, transatlantic slave trade, how white people were viewing these black people as inferior. It's the same thing. Why can't we see it? Why are we so, I think surely people within the COVID thing, they have seen it, because COVID obviously started from people like in China eating bats and stuff, or animals in a live animal, or actually started from a live animal market. So people are kind of becoming more aware, and people are being more aware. That's why you get so much more plant-based alternatives, whether it's McDonald's, whether it's Greggs, whether it's Burger King, whether it's Tesco and stuff, Waitrose, whatever. That's the thing. I think we've just got to open our eyes up, because this is what I wanted to talk about. Discrimination. All discrimination is wrong. I say it again. All discrimination is wrong, and we shouldn't be ticking the box that some forms of discrimination are okay, or speciesism, but others are wrong. This discrimination is wrong, but when it comes to speciesism, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Because it's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy in a nation of animal lovers. We love our pets. We don't have the inclination to kill an animal. We're kind-hearted people. We're built. We're not built the same as lions. I can't see my fangs anywhere. And none of us would ever go to a school and try and tear it apart with our own teeth. We don't have that biological thing. We'd have to get a weapon or something. That's the thing. All these animals that are eating meat, they don't have weapons. They do it raw. They do it day in, day out, on the bone, off the bone, raw meat. And we don't do that. We don't eat raw meat like that off the bone. We buy it in a supermarket all nicely packaged. We're not even meant to be eating meat. But the point is, I'm saying this again, but I just think we've got to look at ourselves in the mirror and realise that we're not really supposed to be eating meat. You can argue, people say we're omnivores and stuff, but you can arguably say we're herbivores, in a way. I don't know, people are saying that, we could be herbivores. But no, I think the point is, the point really isn't even to focus on minority groups. The point is to say, why are we ticking the boxes for some forms of discrimination, speciesism, but other forms are frowned upon, like racism, sexism, anti-Semitism against LGBTQ, whatever. So how come some is okay and others isn't? This is what I don't like. I don't like how you're some are labelled as okay or more accepted. So I don't like that. I think like I said, animals all want to live, don't they? I just think we've got to open our eyes up, because I don't agree with it at all. I don't agree with the way we treat animals like they're nothing, because it breaks my heart when I was about a year ago. I went to this cow dairy farm and I ended up crying because I love animals. I mean, I don't really like dogs, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I love animals. That's the thing. It makes me sad at the way we commodify animals. It breaks my heart seeing cows with these massive udders and everything. It kind of breaks my heart. These poor mother cows who can't even bear their own kids and stuff. Their kids get taken straight away. If they're a bobby calf, heaven forbid, they're probably in solitary confinement before they're killed. You know, it's absolutely despicable. You know, cows with these really heavy udders, full udders, walking around, producing an unnatural amount of milk that's meant for their children anyway. It's meant for their calf anyway. We've got no biological need for cows' breast milk, do we? It contains all the hormones, all the pus, increases the man's estrogen levels. Like I've said before, you know, what we're doing with hens and fertilised eggs is basically the menstrual cycle of a bird. What are we doing? How is that food? You know, what is going on? This isn't moral. This isn't right. We're viewing these animals as if there's nothing there. They're no one. They're commodities. They're just objects that we can commodify and turn into whatever we want. Turn into machines. Turn into just stock. And that absolutely breaks my heart. I don't know what we are doing. Where we've come to this sort of thing. I think intensive farming has only been around for about 70. I think that since World War II, intensive farming, ironically, has been around. It hasn't been around for that long. I think we've been farming for a while, but intensive farming has only been around not that long. But I think we've got to change, you know, especially in this COVID and everything. You know, being vegan is better for the environment, it's better for our health, and it's better morally. So I don't understand why we can't just change. It is better for our health. It is better, you know, it is better. So why can't we just change? Look at ourselves in the mirror and see what we're doing is so wrong. You know, I mean, you could argue the fact that we even have like dogs as pets. You know, surely if we were built to eat meat, surely we'd be, you know, eating our. I don't know. I just think, you know, we love animals. You know, this is why this is so hidden. That's why abattoirs are so hidden. They're so hidden because it's not natural for us to do this. It isn't natural for us to eat meat. I mean, it's not natural to us to factory farm animals. It's not a food chain. It's not part of food. You know, a food cycle or a food chain or whatever. You know, this isn't part of a normal sort of cycle. You know, the way this isn't part of the natural world, what we're doing, where we're genetically modifying, artificially inseminating, sort of intensively rearing these animals. It's living beings, and they don't want to die, do they? When they go to the abattoir, when they're getting put in a, you know, sort of gas chamber or whatever, when they're hung upside down, they don't want to die. Animals don't want to die. They're not stupid. You know, I just can't believe, you know, what we're doing to beings that are so biologically similar to us. They have hearts, they have brains, they have eyes, they have lungs, they sleep, they recreate, they procreate, same gestation period, same everything really. It's just unbelievable. I don't know how we're doing this to living mammals. We're mammals. We might as well be doing this to other human beings. There really isn't much of a difference. Apart from cows walking on all fours and they have eyes at the side of the head. There isn't much difference though. Animals are animals. I mean, what's going on? Why can't we just change and see what we're doing and seeing how morally and justified we're being? And like I said, this is why I talk about minority groups. Because discrimination against any superficial difference is wrong. We shouldn't be picking and choosing which forms of discrimination are okay. That is wrong. Superficial differences is what it boils down to. Whether it's your skin colour, whether it's your ethnicity, whether it's your religion, whether it's who you love, whether it's the species of animal. It's a superficial difference that we're boiling it down to, and this is the principle of discrimination. We see there's no one there. White people saw there was no one there in Blackpool. They thought black people were inferior. There's no one there. You know, they thought black people were just objects. Jewish people, you know, Nazis thought Jewish people were just objects, and men to an extent thought women were just objects. That's why they didn't give them the vote. We're viewing certain species of animals in the same way principally. This is why minority groups should have the more inclination, and this is why we should not exclude speciesism as a form of discrimination, because all discrimination is wrong.